The walls of the Tower of London have witnessed centuries of suffering, but few know of the tragic fate that befell 6 noblemen in the bitter winter of 1536. While history remembers the Tower for housing famous prisoners like Anne Boleyn and Sir Walter Raleigh, a darker tale lies buried in the shadows of Tudor England's most turbulent decade. It began with whispers at court, hushed conversations that ceased when strangers approached. King Henry VIII, once the Golden Prince of England, had become increasingly paranoid following his break with Rome. The monarch who had charmed Europe with his learning and athleticism now saw conspirators in every corner, traitors behind every smile. Thomas Wyatt, Richard Page, Francis Bryan, William Brereton, Nicholas Carew, and Thomas Darcy, 6 men of noble birth, all connected to the royal court. Within a fortnight in November 1536, all vanished from public life, spirited away to the Tower's most secure chambers in a series of nighttime arrests. Their crime? Officially, they were charged with sympathizing with the Catholic rebels of the Pilgrimage of Grace, the largest uprising of Henry's reign. But historical records reveal something far more intriguing. Each man had one thing in common. They possessed knowledge of a document, a letter written in King Henry's own hand before his marriage to Anne Boleyn. A letter that, if authenticated, would have shattered the very foundations of the Tudor dynasty and potentially plunged England into civil war. The Tower's records show unusual patterns during their imprisonment. Unlike other high-profile captives, these 6 were kept strictly isolated, forbidden from communication with each other or the outside world. More curiously, their names appear in the Tower's provision ledgers, showing food and wine delivered to their chambers for nearly 3 months after the official record claims they were executed. Sir William Kingston, the constable of the Tower, left behind a cryptic diary entry dated January 17, 1537. The 6 depart tonight. The king's mercy is that none shall know of the manner of their going. What is buried is not always dead, but what is dead must always be buried. The court was told they had been quietly executed for treason, their bodies interred in the Tower's chapel of St. Peter ad Vincula. Yet no burial records exist. No witnesses to their execution came forward. Their families received no personal effects, a stark deviation from standard procedure even for traitors. Most telling is the record of Sir Thomas Moray's daughter, Margaret Roper, who wrote in a private letter that surfaced in a Belgian monastery archive 2 centuries later. I heard from a trusted friend that Bryan and Wyatt breathe still, though far from England's shores. The king's mercy takes strange forms when secrets must be kept. What was in this mysterious document that made these men so dangerous? Historical analysis suggests it may have been proof of a prior marriage contract between Henry and another woman before his union with Catherine of Aragon, his first queen. If such evidence existed, it would mean Henry's entire claim that his first marriage was invalid. The very foundation of his break with Rome was built on deliberate falsehood. The Tudor legal system, for all its brutality, operated on strict procedure. These 6 men vanished into a bureaucratic void that defied the established process. Spanish Ambassador Eustace Chapuis, known for his detailed reports to Emperor Charles V, wrote with evident confusion. The 6 gentlemen said to be executed for supporting the northern rebels have no bodies to bury. The king speaks of mercy granted in private. I cannot determine if they live or die. Were they secretly executed, their deaths kept private to prevent them becoming martyrs? Were they imprisoned in some remote location, silenced but spared due to their noble connections? Or were they sent abroad, exiled under false identities, a punishment that would keep the dangerous document from ever surfacing while avoiding the political complications their executions might cause? The truth remains locked in the Tower's bloody history. Yet one fact remains certain. In the deadly game of Tudor politics, knowing too much was often the most dangerous crime of all.